Hi everyone, we're Travel with Johnny and Will, and this is our day 6 of our P&O Iona Norwegian Fjords cruise, and this is a summary of our day 6, which was spent in Haugesund.
Yeah, we started off our day just by getting up and heading to the quays for breakfast. I had my bircher muesli, no surprises there.
I had pancakes and maple syrup and icing sugar.
And the pancakes looked quite nice. They were little small pancakes.
Yeah, I think they were all made pretty fresh, because you could see the guy in the back still making them, so they probably batched them, but yeah, they're really good.
And I just had a small cook selection, which was very yummy. I have to say, like, considering the quays, it's a buffet style there, the bit that I went to get all that food. The food is hot.
Yeah.
Which is something that's been, different here. Like on this cruise, we've been to the quays a few times for breakfast, and the food is served hot, which is great.
It's sort of weird. It's like, it's the style of buffet that we can get along with.
Yeah.
Because it's just 3 hatches, and I think that, and then the tea, coffee, and all the wee.
It's nearly like an in between a buffet and a restaurant or canteen.
I think,
so,
yeah.
So after that, we decided that we would head out to explore the town of Haugesund. We have been here before, the first time we visited Norway, and we'll put a link in the description below and on screen to that video, because we did a little trolley train excursion the last time we were here. But we hadn't really any plans this time. Mum and my aunt are with us, so we decided that we would just take the local shuttle service that's located right beside the ship and takes you literally into the town itself and leaves you off at Var Fresler's Church, I think it's pronounced.
It's a red church with a big spire, and if you're on the ship and you're looking out at it, it nearly looks like it's just right across the river.
You can obviously do the walk-in over the Resoy Bridge.
Yeah, we did that last time.
Yeah, but it is sort of quite a long walk, so for anybody...
And it's quite steep. The bridge seems to go steep, and it's not until you get to the top of the bridge, which is the highest point, and then it falls down.
Yeah, so I think if you do have any difficulties walking, I would just pay the money for the shuttle bus.
Yeah.
We'll stick the prices on screen now, so as you can see, it wasn't that expensive.
Yeah, it was 80
five
Norwegian krona each, which is about £5.91.
Yeah, return.
Yeah, and just something to note as well, when you come off the ship, there is the little huts selling the tours, and we also did see the hop-on, hop-off sightseeing bus that we've seen in previous ports.
So there is a few options if you just don't want to go and have a mooch around, and there is a souvenir shop at the port as well, so that if you don't really want to go anywhere but you just want to jump off, get a souvenir and jump back on, it's dead handy to do so. But we took the shuttle into the town centre itself. Again, with the shuttle bus, the middle door has a little ramp, so again, for anybody with walking aids or wheelchairs and things like that, again, the shuttle is the way to go. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's really handy.
As it was a really nice day, we just had a walk around the town. If you go basically one street below the church, there's a square below the church, and if you go one street below that, that's basically the main shopping street, and you'll know you've made it there because it's fully pedestrianised street.
And everyone's there.
Yeah. So if you're there with a big ship crowd, you'll not miss it. We just visited some shops, and we picked up Johnny's mum had picked up some souvenirs for grandchildren. And then you wanted to go.
There was a big sweet store as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now I didn't go in there because I was on a phone call at the time, but there was a big sweet store.
Yeah.
That you all went in, and my mum and aunt came out with a pick and mix each.
Yeah.
Don't know how much that stung them, but they seemed happy with their purchases. And then the other thing is too, folks, we're only really pointing this out because, again, I think it's handy to know, considering this cruise, you've had a sore eye and stuff like that, and we're a bit sniffly after, being out in the cold weather. There are 3 pharmacies quite close together. There's a Boots pharmacy, which we'll all know from the UK, and there's another 2 pharmacies nearby the Boots as well. So again, just if you are in need of like painkillers or, you know, you needed plasters or whatever and you've forgotten to pack some, you know, don't sort of panic that you're not going to be able to get
No.
it, or don't think you have to buy them on the ship, because there is. We'll stick the word on the screen, but for pharmacy in Norway, but I think it's is it apotek?
Apotek,
So
yeah.
sort of nearly comes from the whole apothecary.
But again, I just put pharmacy into Google Maps and the apotek came up. So
Yeah.
don't get worried about it.
Yeah. But yes, so that was, yeah, we just went for a wee mitch around the shops.
And then you had seen on social media, was it a cupcake business or something? So it seemed like we walked for miles away from. No, it wasn't really.
We really
miles.
didn't walk miles.
It was just like a few streets over from the church, actually, on that main shopping thoroughfare, and it sort of didn't really look like too much from the outside, but the
Yeah.
actual cupcakes were
Yeah.
really, really good.
I don't know, for some reason, you know, like how social media, like I think sort of like listens to what you're talking about and where you're going and things. Obviously, we had talked about Haugesund and things, and this sort of, as I always say, flashed up on my social media feed. And I'm probably going to like kill the pronunciation of the name of this shop. But it's something like Yablom Bakst or something like that.
That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right.
That
But the other
really
thing
doesn't
is,
sound right.
it basically says cupcake Husset. So for me, I don't even know if the Husset is the right word. But Husset to me just says cupcake house. And it sits in the corner, and it's we'll stick it on screen. It's very brightly coloured,
Yeah.
and it's very small. So there is only a few tables inside and a few tables outside. So
was
hopefully,
busy.
yeah. So hopefully you get
Busy.
there early. But as well says, the cupcakes were amazing.
Like obviously a cupcake is made up of the cake and the frosting. Frosting was really good. There was also a secret surprise within the cake. And the cake was moist.
Yeah, although whenever you say there's a surprise inside, it's not like you're gonna find like a pound coin or something in it. Like, you know, you just had a filling in yours. I didn't have it in mine. I had the Snickers one, and the frosting had like peanut butter in it, and then a little bit of Snickers on top, and oh yeah, it was nice. And it sells coffees and soft drinks and things too. So it was a nice wee place to stop. Your cupcake was what?
Wild berry.
Oh yeah, yours did look nice.
Yeah.
My aunt had one that was I think it was passion fruit, a mango maybe, but yeah, they were totally amazing. So I think roughly, we worked this out that for 3 cappuccinos, a Coke, and 4 cupcakes, it was roughly about £25. Which I didn't think was too bad. Like, you are in Norway, so you do expect to pay a wee bit more for these things. But yeah, definitely pay it a visit. We'll put obviously we'll have pictures on now, but we'll also put the name of it in our description as well.
So after this, we made our way sort of back toward where the shuttle stop was and near the church, and we just stopped into a little shop, and to me it felt like old school Eason's. You know, like Eason's?
Or W.H. Smith.
Or W.H. Smith, yeah. And we bought a few items for friends of ours, and I actually got like a little sticker book thing that I'm pleased to do at some point.
Will fancies turning his hand to arts and crafts now, folks. So.
But then actually, just when we were waiting for the shuttle to come back, like the little town, it's a real mix of 2 different types of architecture. You can tell there's a lot of these inserted, like newer buildings, but there's a lot of the old wooden, more traditionally styled building, and they're in particular just across from where the shuttle stops. There's a lovely greenhouse, and it has the lovely like teardrop tiles on it, and it just sort of makes you appreciate the beauty of the little town.
Yeah, it's very quaint. We didn't have long to wait for the shuttle. It stops there, I think, every sort of 30 minutes. So I think we only had to wait about 15 minutes for the next bus to come. And like I said, it is just a short bus ride then back to the ship. So once we got back onto the ship, we made our way up to the Sky Dome, because one of the places we haven't checked out yet was the Taste 360, which is kind of like your poolside grill on other ships. There is supposed to be another place on that deck called Grab and Go.
We could not find it.
We've seen it on the deck plans. We have seen the signs sort of
Where is it
pointing.
on the deck plans though?
Well, I've seen it on deck plans. I've seen it literally on the signs. The deck plan's all out there.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it on the signs.
There is. I do not know where this grab and go section is. Like literally, it must be hiding behind a cupboard or something because we have not been able to find
Although
it.
to be fair, the Taste 360 is hiding behind.
Yeah.
Like if you're walking from one side of the pool to the other, you literally can't see it at all.
Yeah, you could mess up. But the Taste 360, it serves pizzas, burgers, hot dogs, and then there's normally a special. So, like, I had a couple of slices of pizza, chips, and then the special yesterday was, like, these chunks of chicken done in a peri-peri sauce, so I had a few bits of that to try.
And the special on the first day, it was lasagna.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the variety so far. I thought it was good pizza. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was nice. It was nice pizza.
And then after that, Mo and Anne, they went back to their cabin to stick their feet up for an hour or two before dinner. We actually just went for a walk around the ship. We still had some filming to do for our ship tour. And all that sort of was thirsty work. So then we decided to go to Brody's bar for a drink.
That's right. So Brody's bar is sort of like the British style pub on board, and it's
The British style pub on a British cruise line.
yes.
Yeah, it's just like a typical bar.
Yeah, and I actually only found out that's maybe one of the only bars that actually sells like the nuts and stuff, because I tried to get them in one of the bars in the atrium and they're like, no, Brody's nuts. I was like, okay. So you had noticed on the menu that there was a beer flight and wanted me to try it. So basically it's 3 little glasses and the combination of the 3 make up a pint. One was banana bread, one was a lemon cake, like lemon drizzle or something, and the other was called Black Sheep. The lemon banana were the nicest, the Black Sheep was a bit hoppy for me. But yeah, they were all, I mean, I finished them.
I played it safe with a pint of cider.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that then, we sort of thought, right, okay, we'll go up and we'll sort of chill in the balcony out. So we took a drink back to our cabin, just to chill before the sail away from our final port, which was obviously today in Haugesund. One thing just to sort of put in about Iona is, and it's sort of quite a cool thing in a way, because obviously, Iona's a new ship, new technology and things like that. And this sounds really strange, but let's talk about toilets. And that, do you know way, like on other cruise ships, whenever you go to a toilet or a bathroom, you have the door handles and things, and you'll always see a little sign to say, please use a hand towel or tissue to touch,
yeah.
the door handle. Which I would do.
Yeah, so would I. Because if they have it right next to the door.
Why shouldn't you? But a lot of people don't. So on Iona, the toilets all have like automatic sort of doors, and they have sort of sensors where you just sort of like put your hand across the sensor and the door opens. The accessible toilets, they're a bit trickier in that whenever you go in, there is like a light above the sensor. So whenever you go in, the light is green. You need to stand back from the sensor and back from the door.
Yeah.
Until
allow the door to close.
Yeah. When the door shuts, then you wave your hand over the sensor, the light goes red.
That means it's locked.
That means it's locked. So that means you can do your business, and then whenever you want to leave the toilet, then you swipe over, wave over the sensor, the light will turn green, and then you can leave. But like I remember, I think it was like the second night we had come out of the theatre, and the toilet where the theatre is a single toilet, and I remember going in, and I was near wetting myself by the time that I sort of stood far enough back from the door.
And if you actually try to make the door close by swiping, it doesn't make it go any quicker. It actually makes it go a lot slower. So you're better to get in, don't touch it, or don't wave anything, and then just wait till that door closes and then swipe to lock.
And you can see like a lot of people just sort of standing in the toilets, sort of like, is this door going to shut? It's quite funny at times, but it is kind of good because it means then people don't have to touch handles and things in the doors. So.
Oh yeah, I totally love the idea of exiting the toilet without touching the door. I think that's a great idea, and I think they should bring these automatic doors to all the cruise lines.
I know, because the sad thing is you really can't rely on people washing and sanitising their hands,
And in this way, they don't even have to touch it if they don't want to wash their hands.
Exactly. So we had our sail away. We then got ready for dinner, and tonight we then headed to the Pearl restaurant. Again, you just join the virtual queue, and you get them notification on the My Holiday app whenever your table's ready, and you have 15 minutes to sprint to the dining room to get your table. Again, if you don't want to use the My Holiday app, it still is freedom dining in that you can just go and queue and wait. And again, if you're happy to share a table, you'll get seated quicker.
But what we've found is, although we're like yesterday, we were seated for like 6. Mm-hmm. We were seated for 6. The dining room was half full.
I know.
So it only opened at 5:30, and it allows you to queue 15 minutes before. I read. So we're not the only ones that are early diners, and we're certainly not the earliest.
No, definitely not. So tonight then, for starters, I had this Indonesian chicken salad.
That actually looked really good.
It was so
And
yummy.
it had like some sort of drizzle on it.
Yeah, it had like a little sauce on it, and oh my goodness, it was just amazing.
It looked good.
You had soup.
I had the cauliflower soup. So this one wasn't broccoli soup. It wasn't green. It was white.
It was the correct colour.
Yeah.
For cauliflower.
And it was really good. It was good.
Excuse me, folks. And then I literally had the smoked pork loin steak. And it basically came with mash, cabbage and leeks, and a mushroom and mustard sauce, and it was really nice.
Yeah. I went for the veggie option again. I had the baked avocado, and it was like in a little lattice pastry crust. And what else? And then there's, a little chili tomato sauce on it, so it was really good.
Dessert then, I had a warm chocolate praline fondant with some vanilla ice cream. And it was really nice too. I sort of thought it was going to be like really chocolatey again, like the thing I had the night before, but it wasn't. It was just very light, a little bit of chocolate sauce in the middle. It was yummy.
So I had the summer pudding, and I actually didn't really know what it was, but it was basically like a sponge, and it was soaked in like the juices of wild berries or something.
The taste of summer.
Which makes it the taste of summer. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And after our meal, then we headed to Anderson's for a couple of drinks. We were then set to go to the theatre, but we had we diverted then to Anderson's en route for a little gin, and then we headed down to the Headliners Theatre, and tonight then the show was called the Burlington Set.
Burlington Set, yeah. So they had originally done a show on night 2, wasn't it?
I think it was day 2, yeah.
Yeah, which we had missed. But I mean, they sort of like recapped who they were and told you if you didn't go to the show on day 2, then where were you going? But yeah, they were really good. Like sort of a swing band. Really good, talented performers. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, 3 guys, all with 3 amazing voices. And they were quite funny as well, and you can tell they get along, and they were able to joke about and that with each other on stage during their routines. And the crowd, like the theatre was busy.
Yeah, it was.
And the crowd did really lap them up, So it was an enjoyable show.
So after the show, coming out on deck 6, we just went to the atrium, and the bar on deck 6 in the atrium is the Emerald Bar. And again, we got a seat, no trouble. Like I literally sneaked around the corner thinking, oh, I'll just check in here. And we were like, yeah, we got a seat. And we sat there just to close off our night.
Yeah, we had a couple of drinks there. There was a guy playing, there was a, what is his name? Busker, I want to say like Busker Dave or something, but it's
Surely
a guy.
He wasn't busking on the ship.
Well, I don't think anybody was throwing money at him, but but that's his name, and he was sort of singing, and then there was piano music playing. And we did notice a guy going around doing like table magic, although he never made it to our table.
No.
Which is probably a good thing because Will's not a fan of magic.
Will
just doesn't like not knowing how things are done, like and how tricks it. That's the engineering.
So that one time we were in Blackpool, we went to magic show. I got really annoyed because it was all sleight of hand. The coins were disappearing, cards were coming out. Where were they coming from? I don't know, but it really annoyed me, and it annoyed me for the rest of the night. So I'm glad he didn't come over to us.
So folks, that has been our last port of call on this Norwegian Fjords cruise. We hope you've enjoyed our vlog series. If you haven't watched any of the other videos, then why not? But you can catch them in the playlist. And like I say, hopefully by following along on our vlogs, you can see what you can get up to on board P&O Iona and obviously the stops that we've done.
And obviously stay tuned. We have one more video coming, which will be our day 7 and our closing video for this series. Sort of recapping our day at sea. And probably a little bit of an overall thoughts as well. If you like this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up down below and click subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on our final upload.
That's me ringing the bell.
Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.